This is a demo which shows how the Dolphin Data Management Cockpit for GRC, Government Risk and Compliance, can help you to make the SAP system more secure, also on a database level. Threats like that intellectual property can be stolen is minimized that way. And we show you how you could potentially save millions of dollars by having hackers get into your system and stealing the information of how products are made. Typically, the information of how products are made is compiled into the material bombs. So let's have a look at one of the material bombs. So here's a material bomb for a beverage, and if I go to the header level, I can see what's of course most noticeable identifies a material bomb is the name, which in this case is Newcastle beer, and so we have some of the header level data which we want to disappear. Once you cannot identify by text anymore a bomb, it becomes essentially meaningless. So if you could blank these two text fields out, of course we have also the item level. What are the components of this bomb which make up this bill of materials are also very valuable. And of course we would need to make that disappear too. So let's go ahead and use the DMC tool for that purpose. So we go into the transaction DMC-GRC-PP, and really the tool is actually very simple. You only reference, in this case, either the material or the bomb. So here we reference the bomb and we run the encryption. Oh, before we run the encryption, let's have actually a look at the database level, how these information are stored. And so even so you secure this transaction via the authorization concept, and not everybody can get into this transaction, but there's typically often very many people who have access to these table viewer transactions like SE16, SE16N or SE16 to review some of this information. So if I wanted to, for instance, would look into the table which is related to this material bomb, I will actually see that this information is available for whoever developers, whoever has access to this, to review this information. So it's simply not enough to secure just the information on the transaction level. They has to be secured on the database level. And so the tool, basically, when I run the encryption against a certain, again, the concept is the tool is configurable, so we can actually configure what fields and what tables we want to encrypt. So let me bring up one more session to show you how this works. The configuration of this information is done in the Dolphin fields encryption table, and if I just look in this regards what we are referencing here, the encryption field set PP bomb, we see that under the version 1 we have certain fields in the PP in the header table, the STKO, and the line item table, as well as some other object table where we store the texts. So so that is referenced. This is one we want to make disappear. We could add some fields here very easily, and so once we do the encryption, you can see now that everything was referenced here was changed, the header table, the line item table, and the object table. And if I do now a refresh on this table, you can see the most relevant information like the texts as well as the components disappear. And so the components are references to the material numbers, so they are not visible anymore. We did actually, so if I actually now log in as a normal user So let me go in here and log in as a user, not as a power user, Thomas Langner, but as somebody who is a normal user who for whatever reason has the authorization to get into this CS03 transaction. And I'm just going to use the same material bomb and look at the header level. You basically get a message that you're not authorized to decrypt the data. So we have actually enhanced the loading process with the fact that, you know, we would have to do the decryption, because if you look at the database, these fields are empty. So consequently, they do not show up here anymore. As well, if you go to the line item, for the normal guys, they do only which have authorization to, you know, may have the authorization to see the transaction, but not the authorization to decrypt. We basically, all of this is blanked. But our original user who has the authorization to see this information, if he goes to the transaction, he will actually see the components and the texts. So that basically is the part of the encryption.